Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, oh boy, I don't know if I'm ready for this one. Oh, well, I promised you that I was going to sort of react to uh, three songs in total that are inspired by Avatar, The Last Airbender. And today I'm here to make good on that promise for better or for worse. Today we are going to be reacting and discussing uh, Divide Music, his song Find Your Way. It's inspired by Uncle Iroh, which, if you don't know, if you haven't seen the series or you just don't know, Uncle Iroh he's Prince Zuko's uncle, but really, man, Uncle Iroh is everybody's uncle. Uncle Iroh is the uncle that we aspire to be. He's very kind. He's loving. He he pushes Zuko, but he never, he never pushes Zuko past his breaking point. He really is. He's the father figure to Zuko that he really deserved. And we'll talk a little bit more about him in the reaction. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and listen to the song. Oh, before I forget, so for those of you that do know, Uncle Iroh, I have my cup of tea. It's not the traditional cup that Uncle Iroh uses, but it's got earth, it's got fire, it's got water, and I guess you could say the white could represent air, I suppose. Closest thing I could find. So here's my cup of Uncle Iroh's tea. The fruit blend. Alright, so here we go. Divide Music. Find Your Way.
You break apart the cracks inside to find what's underneath. But there you found more questions to the answers that you seek. Your destiny is not decided by another's wants. Look in yourself and listen closely to your heart's response. You can't always see the light at the end of the tunnel, but if you keep moving, better days are to follow. Your failures are an opportunity to try again, and you'll eventually find your way, and mold your own destiny. overrated. The peace in oneself is sadly understated. To achieve your true desires, you don't have to do it alone. Look inward for what you want. This path is your own. You can't always see the light at the end of the tunnel, but if you keep moving, better days are to follow. Your failures are an opportunity to try again, and you'll eventually find your way, and mold your own destiny. Can't always see the light at the end of the tunnel, but if you keep moving, better days are to follow. Your failures are an opportunity to try again, and you'll eventually find your way, and mold your own destiny. Hear me well, don't be so afraid. I know the choices that we make can feel so cemented on the path we may take. But hear me well, don't be so afraid.
Definitely don't want that. One sec. Just make sure that doesn't play kid. Okay, there we go. Well, there are many things that I really love about this song. The first thing is that it's very clear, that Divide, um, first of all, that he is very clearly, a fan. Because he encapsulates just the heart of Uncle Iroh, um, so well. A little bit, without going into too much detail, Uncle Iroh had been through a lot. Um, he lost his son, and uh, you know, when his nephew was banished, from his home, Uncle Iroh went with him, and throughout the whole journey of Zuko just trying to muddle through life, basically, uh, he was always there, even when he couldn't be there physically. Um, there were some instances in which they had to be separated, and there's some instances in which Zuko made some choices that his uncle couldn't support. And so he um he kind of distanced himself a bit. Um, but the thing about Uncle Iroh is he never gave up on Zuko. Um, Even when Zuko wasn't making the best of choices, he was always on his nephew's side, and always by his side. And, what's so special is, I mean, even when they were separated, the words that Uncle Iroh spoke and the wisdom that Uncle Iroh instilled into him, they stayed with him, sometimes begrudgingly, to Zuko, but most of the time, um, it brought him peace. It brought him, first his own sort of peace, and then later on, it brought him the true peace that I think Uncle Iroh was trying to uh, show his nephew. And the thing is that, you know, we're talking about a man who he was of high esteem. He was a general. And then he saw just how just wrong everything was. And his entire view shifted. And even as he was going around helping Zuko, with his quest of trying to retrieve what he thought was honor, he was always just instilling that little piece, little pieces of wisdom that slowly and surely just they stuck with him. And that's what really made one of the best redemption stories I've seen. Um, yeah, I mean, for Uncle Iroh alone, I would probably watch the show 100 times, and I probably have. Um, and the good thing about the live action is, even though I think sometimes the actor is a little bit more serious than the original, the heart is still there. It's really just about this man who wants to be there, who wants to show his nephew that somebody loves him and wants to help him, you know, get on the right path. And the the line, find your own destiny, it comes straight from Uncle Iroh. He talks to Zuko about that. About, you know, shifting your mindset and, just keep going and keep trying, and eventually you will find your own destiny. And it's just that alone again, like I said, just the beautiful relationship that they have, even when Zuko is being he's a brat sometimes. You know, he's hard headed, he's thick headed, he's just kind of really just angsty and pushes your buttons, and his uncle is still right there, no matter what, helping him to finally find the peace within himself. And that's the other thing that I love about Divide music. Um his songs, especially the three that I'm going over, you know, they resound, within us because they're relatable. You know, I'm sure that we've all had those moments where we feel like the choices that we've made have cemented us and there's no way out. Kind of basically what Zuko was saying in the song last night. No way. Is there any way out? And Uncle Iroh is that voice that says, "Hear me well, don't be afraid." You know, I know the choices that we make can feel so cemented on the path that we may take. But hear me well, don't be so afraid. And when we've hit those bumps, when we've hit those hard moments in our lives, when we feel kind of like, we're at the end of our rope, we've made so many mistakes, you know, I at least hope that we have somebody like an Uncle Iroh. Um, and I mean, it can be anybody. It can be a family member. It can be a friend. And, he's both. One thing that I also love about the live action is it makes it very clear that Iroh chose to go with Zuko. He could have stayed behind. He could have lived in the Fire Nation, and just went about his life. But no, he chose to go on this journey with Zuko because he knew that he needed somebody, that he needed a friend. And so he made that decision. He packed everything up. He, you know, basically upended his life, even though he was already kind of, one foot out because he didn't agree with what the Fire Nation was doing. But mainly, he did it for Zuko. And again, as I said, I at least hope, that you have somebody out there that, is your Uncle Iroh. Um, and maybe you haven't talked to them in a while. Maybe you kind of lost touch with them. Maybe give them a call, send them a text, you know, do something. Let them know that you appreciate it. Even if sometimes you were being bullheaded or stubborn or a pain in the butt. because we all need it. Anyway, that's really all I wanted to say. I wanted you to hear this beautiful song, understand why it resonates so well with me, and I wish you all well. I hope that you choose peace in yourselves and understanding for others. And I will see you for the next one. Take care, everybody.